This is Star Card Podcast. Let's tour the age of Aquarius and explore the worlds of education and workplace ethics. Good morning. Today is May 19th, 2025. My name is Breakaway Ray, and I like talking about the breakaway civilizations and breaking out of the one we're in now. Thank you for joining me in my crusade against suppressed knowledge during this war on consciousness. This is Star Card Podcast, Adventure Number 1, Chapter 2, Heavy Metal Weather Control. I wish Heavy Metal Weather Control was the name of my favorite speed metal jazz fusion album. If it was, maybe there would be a collection of songs where Ice-T and his speed metal band Body Count team up with the jazz band Weather Report and the guys from the glam rock band Kiss just for fun. They could perform songs like Silicates in the Skies, Portal That Propane to the Palisades, and Who Mangled My Mind. Well, that album is pure Breakaway Ray fantasy, but weather control is real. Weather control is real. There are patents for weather control dating back deep into the last century. This is not conspiracy. Why is this not common household knowledge? If we have the technology to manipulate the weather, how come we never learn about that in school? One could also ask why these names are not in our science books. Let me get my notes over here. First up, Victor Schauberger, Flying Saucer Technology. William Tompkins, Spaceship Engineer. Stanley Meyer developed a water-powered car. Royal Raymond Rife, whose approach to health is so controversial, I am censoring myself from saying anything except you need to learn about this stuff. Learn about Royal Raymond Rife. He died penniless. And William Reich, famous for his tie to orgonite and orgone. Again, something I won't talk about. Please go and learn about orgonite on your own. Wilhelm Reich, by the way, died in prison. Sure, somebody out there is catching on to Breakaway Ray's game. Take some random trigger issues, shake them all up, and extrapolate crazier stuff to scare us. There are patents for weather control. There are newspaper articles about people cloud seeding and creating lakes. This was about 100 years ago. You think they just all of a sudden stopped using weather control? Suddenly everyone woke up and forgot that we could do it? It's more like they just stopped telling us about it. The technology was removed from our civilization. The technology was privatized or militarized. And now weather is a mysterious random force where, forget about nice weather, you're grateful if you don't have weather that destroys your life. By the way, keeping weather control under wraps is an ongoing operation. There are non-disclosure agreements signed by weather broadcasters agreeing not to discuss weather control technology. I don't know if I was supposed to disclose that. Too much to say, Ray? We're only talking about weather control, but you can see the same dynamic in other technologies, like energy, anti-gravity, and frequency-based health, including bells and med beds. It fits the same pattern as Project Stargate. They said they shut down Project Stargate, but really they just went deeper underground, right? By the way, Project Stargate happens to be a good example to use since it provides some foreshadowing to this adventure. Weather control technology is being used on the surface of planet Earth right now. Can you imagine how advanced weather control technology must be compared to where it was 100 years ago? Can you imagine that such technology is in the hands of quasi-governmental or military organizations, or maybe some private industry concealed from the general public? Can you imagine it? Because I just did. It was pretty exciting. Let's just say that whoever's got it and whoever's using this technology has an interest in keeping this, their powerful technology, a secret. Their goals may not mesh with the rest of us, who are supposed to think that weather is magic and spontaneous. Reports from secret space program experiencers tell us that weather control is used on other planets as well. But I rarely hear stories about how weather control on other planets is used just to mess with the people who live on those planets. Part of the simple method to seed clouds is to saturate them with certain chemicals and metals. Some of this reacts to microwave radiation. For more information and a simple to understand explanation of what's going on, tune into the channel Brush Junkie and listen to what fire scientist Shane has to say. Ladies and gentlemen, you are not going to be surprised to hear from me that our bodies have pollutants in them, including metals. However they got there, in the air or our food or our clothing or whatever, however these pollutants got there, they are there. If you're watching this video, you've probably already come across information about the kinds of pollutants that are in our body. These pollutants could be metals, and they could also be of the intelligent nano variety. We don't know, do we? We wouldn't know, would we? You know who doesn't want us to know? The people who are deciding to dump all these chemicals into our environment and into our bodies. Dump is the wrong word to use. Placed would be better because it suggests forethought, deliberation, and planning. The metals that are in our bodies would and do react to microwaves, just the way metals in the sky react to microwaves. Microwaves deliberately directed at placed targets. In the skies, microwave technology could interact with the metals or other compounds riding water molecules and weather systems to shape and guide them. If microwave technology can remotely direct the water-linked metals and compounds in a storm system, could it not also apply to the water in the human body as well? Ever heat up leftover meat in a microwave? Do you have some kind of expertise on this? Legal or scientific? Would you like to explain it to me and our audience? Please make an appearance on Star Card Podcast. Do you agree with me and want to share more? Please contact me to appear on Star Card Podcast. I know there's a gentleman out there named Jesse Beltran. He studies something called Havana Syndrome. Mr. Beltran, sir, you are invited on this show. I am suggesting that it is not far-fetched to think that some of the chemicals in our bodies are being placed there. It's not through careless, reckless practices that fly under the radar. It's done for a purpose. On the one hand, there is a suggestion that humans on Earth's surface are test subjects and we are being experimented on like lab rats. This would include tests for physical durability and cognitive ability and malleability. I would also suggest that the chemicals in the human body could be totally irrelevant. There is something called Havana Syndrome, where invisible microwave radiation is directed at people. There is also the famous instance during a United States invasion of Iraq, when all the Iraqi soldiers put down their weapons simultaneously. That was really the US using something called voice-to-skull technology. This is way back in the 90s. Voice-to-skull technology, it's scary enough just saying it. If there was a couple dressing up for Halloween, you could have one dressed as voice-to-skull technology, and the other one could go as MK Ultra. I don't know enough about how Havana Syndrome works or how voice-to-skull technology works, but maybe it's not necessary to have metals and chemicals and nanobots in human bodies and minds in order to manipulate them. I hope there's someone out there listening and saying, hey, Breakaway Ray, you haven't even mentioned mind control yet. That's mind control with a K. We shall not be spiraling down the staircase of mind control today. In fact, we have reached the end of this chapter, so you know what? Now is a good time to bring up Montauk and Project Phoenix.